Hello, Trailblazers, and welcome to an episode of Entrepreneur Journey. And today, my guest is Dimitri Ross. And Dimitri Ross is a high ticket coach. He teaches people how to sell high ticket courses. Is that correct? Not courses. You're going to tell them better than I just did.
Yeah, high ticket programs. Bang on, bang on.
So tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so where should I start? Jeez. So I'm 25 at the moment. I have a 4-month-old little one, little boy, and soon to be married. But in the last year, I built my coaching business up to a 7-figure run rate. We did 500K cash collected in the last year. And, things are going pretty well. In the last year, particularly, I've gone from being a solopreneur, running the business by myself, had a marketing agency before that as well, to being a CEO, being a leader of a team and being responsible for a family and paying wages and team and all that. And so my life's changed a lot, but in a good way, but it wasn't always this way. It was only a couple of years ago that my fiance and I were homeless in Easter in 2018. We had $45.19 to our name. And that was the rock bottom moment. I've had a few rock bottom moments since then for sure. But that was the moment that I knew I had to take charge of my financial destiny and stand up and lead from there. So did you want me to kind of keep going?
No, because the questions I'm going to ask you is kind of delve into your story a little bit more. So I just kind of want to ask you just some random get to know you kind of questions. So
of course,
the first one is, what do you like most about Australia?
Oh, Australia. I think it is just, this is funny because, you guys in America have like a perception of Australia and Vegemite and like the wallabies and the kangaroos. And I guess we have perception of the US. But Australia, for me, it's the only place I've ever lived. So I'm only basing it off my experience. But it's beautiful, man. Like I live on the beach. I've got a beach house and, I get to just walk outside and stroll along the beach and, it's very safe. I think we got access to very good education and all that stuff. So yeah, man, I love it here. I love it here. It's not as stereotypical as you guys make it over there.
Let me ask you about, I never learned how, but I always want to learn how to surf. Do you surf?
Oh man, I couldn't surf to save myself, but I need to start. One of my team members, he loves surfing and he goes all the time.
I've been to the West Coast of the United States and I grew up in Florida, and people say they're surfers there. They're just bodyboarders. But I've been to the West Coast of the United States and the waves are decent there. But I've heard that Australia has some of the best waves. For surfing that there is.
Yep, some of the best beaches, some of the best waves for sure.
Nice. So a question about books. What are the 3 books that you think every entrepreneur should have on their shelf?
Oof, that is a very tough question. I think Rich Dad Poor Dad is huge. I think that's definitely got to be up there. I believe everyone needs to read Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Offers. I think that only just came out recently. I don't know if you guys know much about him, but
I have not heard that one.
He's built his business in the last 4 years, gym launch and other businesses to over $100 million cash collected. So highly recommend that. At the moment it's like 99 cents to buy. So highly recommend that. That's one that I've read recently and it's like boom. And you can't really go past the trilogy by Russell Brunson and his 3 books.
Oh yeah.
Traffic Secrets is gold as well.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. You know what's sitting on my desk right now?
You got it there.
I'm rereading it. So I think I see one peeking out on the back there.
Yeah,
they're kind of blurry.
They're the main ones.
I was going to say, is there like one by Dan Kennedy back there? Is one of those purple books the Dan Kennedy book?
No, it's not. But Dan Kennedy is a god. Hey.
Yeah. Yep. So you told me earlier that you are a new father, and how has that changed your perspective on business, on life in general?
Massively. Before I was like, go. Like I was like massively go, like working like 7 days. Cause I love what I do. I didn't need to work 7 days, but I'm in this journey to innovate, to like push boundaries and to like just break standards. I mean, going from earning $18 an hour as a barista making lattes for the rich to, turning my whole life around and building a successful business by becoming a master at sales and influence and marketing. I mean, it's changed my life massively. So, for me, remind me what the question was. The question
having a child, being a father now, how has that changed your life and your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, from that, like, it really made me, I guess, particularly as my sons got older, like the first, 2 months, they're kind of not able to really do much. They're like little infants, but now he's becoming more and more to life and developing personality. It's like I want to be there for him. So I think it's changed my perception from I'm going to do this alone and I'm just going to like crush the business by myself and then spend time with family when I can, to I'm going to build my business in a way that makes the best impact in the world and also is automated and has the best team in the world running it with me.
Nice. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time? You kind of said that you were a grinder, a hustler for 7 days a week. So I don't know how much free time you had before now, and now you have a child. So when you do get free time, what do you like to do?
Yeah, now's a lot more flexible. Now I can basically, have the freedom when I want. But I love playing tennis. I'm a massive, I massive playing tennis. I get lessons, and I only started it like 9 months ago or whatever. But yeah, I love playing that. I love also my, you guys call it soccer over there. I love football. I love watching Manchester United and the EPL. So yeah.
Nice. I played tennis as a young child with my mom, and my mom made me quit because I would hit it like a baseball. knock it out of the court, and she's like, I'm not playing with you anymore. So I'm not very good at tennis.
You should have picked up baseball then and kept that going.
I did play a little bit of baseball as a youth, and that's one of my favorite things to play. But I'm older now, and not many old guys are getting together and saying, hey, let's go play a game of baseball.
Yeah. So they like pull a back muscle out.
Right, exactly. Yep. I stick to pretty much golf nowadays.
Yeah, nice. I need to get into golf. I must admit, I suck at it.
Oh, it's fun. It takes a long time, to play around, but it's kind of centers me in a way.
Therapeutic, hey.
Yeah, it is.
It's good because you can go by yourself as well.
Yep. So some questions about your entrepreneur journey. How did you go from basically zero to $500,000?
Mm-hmm. So really, and so basically it was like everyone else seems to be making money in the online world. Like, how the hell can I do it? Because we all want that financial abundance and freedom, right? So I think like anyone, you start looking online, you start looking at YouTube, make money online 2019, make money online 2020. It's like, if you haven't yet made it, it's like, you just do it for the next year. So I think I started like that, like everyone. And the thing I think at the time that was really booming was drop shipping. So it was Easter 2018 that my fiance and I ended up being homeless, and all our belongings packed into our car with nowhere to go. And after that, we were able to flip stuff and make a couple $1,000s to get us by while we got a place and got jobs. So then 6 months goes by in some jobs that we're making money from. And I started investing our savings, literally everything that we had. My wife wasn't too very impressed, into spending my time on YouTube, binge watching videos on like drop shipping. And then I think I might have bought a course. So I started drop shipping because it was like the easy get rich quick thing that everyone was promoting. So for me, we got that going for a month. We built a website and we started off with a general store selling all this shit from China. And I mean, I don't think there's a better way to say it, right? So yeah, we started on that journey and then made some sales, but then we didn't have cash to keep pumping into ads. So we threw in the towel literally overnight after probably like 45 days of doing it properly. And I said, what the hell can I start that doesn't involve any capital, any money, anything down? And I can just get really good at selling or persuasion or that kind of thing. And then the magic moment for me was coming across Ty Lopez is in his prime, selling the social media marketing agency, with his Lambos and the books and his women. It's like selling the good life, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I got his course and then committed to social media marketing. Now I bought it, but I didn't take any action because his course was pretty overwhelming. Didn't take any action for like 3 months, and then December 2018 hit, and I found another mentor. He had a program for $1,000, a 30-day Christmas challenge, and he promised to get you clients and leads with your agency. And I was ready to give up on the entrepreneurial journey at that point. My now fiance was getting fed up with me spending all of our savings and not even be able to buy any new clothes because we didn't have really anything at that time. So she was getting pretty annoyed at that point, being like, is this going to work? Is it going to work? Like, this is like the fourth adventure we tried. And at this point too, I'd already failed in 2 businesses before that. I failed at being a personal trainer a year or 2 prior. And I also failed with a health and fitness company that we both started together. So this was like the 5th business that was either going to make it or fail. So committed to the challenge, December 2018, Christmas, 12 days in, signed a client for $3,500, a mortgage broker. Changed my life. That one transaction, I've still got the screenshot. I look at it all the time. That one transaction changed everything for me. I went from being a latte boy, pouring lattes for the rich, to all of a sudden making more than I make in really 2 months, maybe 3 months of work in a cafe. So that was like eye-opening for me. And then I got him the results. I just promised him the results. I had no proof, nothing. I just promised him the results. I backed the mentor that I had, got him the results within 30 days. He referred me to his friend for $4,000 per month. All of a sudden, I was doing like $7.5K a month within like 60 days. And my paradigm changed like massively.
Yeah. One thing that you said there that I kind of want to elaborate on. So when you made that first $3,000, it's like a switch goes off in your head, right? Like that. I'm used to making $15 an hour as when I was doing this, but now if I just by that one sale, it triggers to me. It did the same thing for me. It triggers something mentally in you that's not. There's a new normal.
And like our entrepreneurial journey is defined by that. Like every single moment we have like that takes us to that next version of us. Like even the first time I got paid $20,000 in full from a client, that was like, holy shit moment again. And I think the more we keep pushing boundaries, the more our paradigm changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So what is your favorite thing about being a coach?
So it is being able to help someone who's really scared and timid about living their best life and playing full out. It's about giving them the reassurance and certainty that if they put in the work and they follow the process and they literally commit like their life depends on it, they will succeed. It's people who have some kind of security or safety. People in a corporate job wanting to become an entrepreneur. It never really works because they like the security and safety from a job. It's the entrepreneurs who are willing to fail forward and take massive risks. It's those ones that succeed. So I love working with people who are really hungry, and that literally sets my soul on fire. Someone who is destined for more and they know it, and being able to guide them step by step, give them the strategic support they need. But here's the thing, Doug, you might agree with this because you're obviously agency owner, big on funnels and working with coaches yourself. Like everyone thinks they need the tactics. You need the pretty funnel, but a lot of the time it comes down to the mindset as well. And being so switched on internally, emotionally in a peak state that you become bulletproof. When you become bulletproof, the tactics and strategies are easy.
That is so true. That resonates with me so much because I always say mindset's the foundation, right? If you can't get the mindset right, you can't build anything on top of that. So yeah, I totally agree.
Like us as entrepreneurs, like how many times are we like knocked down by something in life or business and we have a choice to either stay down or get up? It's like if the more times we get up, the more times we fall down and get up, the more times we'll succeed.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So what's it like looking back now, where since with your success now, what's it like looking back on where you came from?
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I reflect on this as much as I can. Like thinking about where I am now at 25, it's definitely not where I want to be. But like, I think the more we get accustomed to who we've become, the more we take things for granted.
Mm,
And, you know, it's just the little things that we forget. Like, whilst we're complaining that we didn't close a $3,000 deal, there's someone else in the world who doesn't even earn that in a year. Like, I think we really take for granted what we can have if we choose to and what we're capable of. So for me, it's reminding myself of that and also looking back at the past, like you said, it's just remembering like you can come far in a short period of time. Like if I was able to turn my life around realistically in the last 3.5 years, but more so in the last 6 or 7 since I left school, like I was just like this lost little puppy, this insecure little boy who, you know, had issues with my mom and my dad and didn't feel like he had any parents to support him and raise him. And being alcohol dependent and drug dependent like I was, and going out 3 or 4 nights a week and partying with the boys and, doing drugs and alcohol and working 80 hours a week in hospitality at that time, to be able to fast forward from 19 to now, 25 at the time of recording this, you can change your life quickly. So I think and you might agree with this, we're so caught up in we're not where we want to be, but we fail to reflect how we actually have so much more than everyone else and that we've come so far. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. I can't say that I'm consistent every day, but I try and wake up every day and think back and be grateful for what I have because a little bit about my story, we had a car towed away, a car repossessed when my wife and I were just married and we lived in this apartment. And I remember like we can still drive near that apartment. I'm like, we used to live there. And remember when we got our car repossessed and now we've come so far. So yeah, I like to reflect on the past because it makes me grateful for where I am.
100%.
Yeah. Um, so a little bit about your expertise now. How has your journey grown you as a person?
Whew. How has my journey grown me as a person? In so many ways. It's been very testing. Every version of you requires you to become, for you to be, do, and have different things. Like now I have to be, I don't have to, I get to be a leader for my family, for my son. I get to be the role model that I want to be for him. And I didn't necessarily have in my younger years. So that, and also being in charge of my team and leading them, like being a leader has really challenged me because, it's different being a leader in a cafe and, kind
Mm,
of being the main show there to running a company where you got wages and bills and expenses and clients to keep happy. Like a
mhm.
coffee, the client says, I didn't like the coffee, you can make them a new one. Like it's pretty quick process. But I think this entrepreneurial journey has really changed me in the sense of I've had to really master how to get friends and influence people, as Dale
Mm,
Carnegie would say.
mhm.
Like you have to be a communication master. And I believe the more you master communication in business, the more you really set yourself up for success. I was kind of a shy little boy, a bit like an introvert, and now I'm, very much more extroverted. But that's what the entrepreneurial journey has done to me. You have to, I guess I've had to learn to embrace that and get out of my own skin and do different things. But have you found a similar experience with your journey?
I have. And one thing I was going to ask you about, kind of related to that, you had mentioned, you used to be in the party scene. And what was that transition? This really isn't in the question. I'm kind of going off script here, but what was that transition like? Because I think I can relate to what you're going to say. Not that I was into drugs and alcohol, but I was in a different place, and I had to change who I was in order to invite the success that's come. So,
Mhm.
if you can expand on that a little bit with your own journey.
Yeah, I think the question you're asking is how did I evolve out of my
Hmm.
environment and create a new environment? I literally had to escape it. I had to get rid of all of the friends that I had, even though I loved them at the time. They were a heap of fun and they were my friends. I had to literally cull 99% of them and only keep, 1 to 5, um, because the rest they're still not doing anything with their life. And I say that with love,
Hmm.
but they're not living their most inspired life, their higher self. So I had to literally escape. I personally moved to a different part of Australia, but you have to, if you don't not willing to move,
Right.
you have to be willing to put up boundaries and say, I'm not going to associate with them anymore. Um, and I think people in those situations, not just ripping the band-aid off and say, I'm not talking to you anymore. It's starting to decline things over time. They invite you to an event, say, I can't make it. You keep doing that, and they're going to get the point after 6 months that, you're not available for them. So that's a way to deal with that. But yeah, I literally had to move environments. I had to put boundaries in place. And I think there's a massive issue entrepreneurs face is they're not willing to put boundaries in place with the people they love. Like my mum was a massive toxic person in my life, and we still don't get on to this day. And I had to put boundaries up, of what I'm willing to tolerate from her and what I'm not. And when I do that, I'm able to reclaim my energy and fill my cup up. And when you operate as an entrepreneur with your cup full and you have energy and you feel vitality within you, you're going to best set yourself up for success. So for me, it was breaking free of my environment, setting boundaries with those who weren't serving me or weren't going to serve me, the new person I had to become. And I say this to people who come into my programs and stuff as well. The person who handed over their credit card to pay and comes into the program, that's not the same person that's going to get them to where they want to go. That it won't happen.
Right.
They have to change. And if you don't change on this journey, you're going to get the same results that you've got. So we have to evolve and you have to become a totally different person, your higher self. You have to do different things to what you were doing. And you have to have a totally different approach and mentality emotionally and strategically to this approach. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I think that's great. Let's talk about scaling and systems, since you've done that in a relatively quick time, I would say. What is the
Mhm.
first thing you would advise clients to outsource as they start to grow?
Are we talking agency specific or are we talking coaching?
Coaching. Let's go coaching.
Coaching. Yeah.
Mhm.
So with coaching, I think it depends on what your model is. Like I'm just going to use the example of you selling high ticket. The issue and the bottleneck coaches have is that they're stuck in the one-on-one model. They're stuck in trading time for money. Most coaches are capped out at 10 one-on-one clients a week.
Mhm.
So when it comes to scaling, really, you've got to assess the bottleneck. The bottleneck is they're probably burnt out and don't have a lot of time. And instead of having resources pre-done and videos that your clients can consume and learn to help them get to the transformation, the desired situation, they're just trading their time for money on back-to-back calls all day. Now, I know coaches who are making 30 to 40K a month doing this, but they've got like 30 one-on-one clients, and that's stressful. Like you don't have any time to spend with your family, and like
Right.
I'm not wanting that lifestyle. So I'm a big believer in once you really validate your offer as a coach, you have a really strong proof of concept. You have an offer that people can't say no to. One thing Alex Hormozi says is we've got to make your offer so good that they would be stupid to say no. When
Mhm.
you get to that place and you've got too many clients and you can handle, it's time to pivot into a leveraged offer. And the way I teach my clients is to create a leverage learning hub, which is where you take your transformation, you put it all into step-by-step digestible videos and online resources into a learning dashboard like Teachable or Kajabi. And then you provide systems of accountability and support that don't require your one-on-one handholding. It's more of a group environment. And going from doing 10 hours of one-on-one calls a week or 20 hours of one-on-one calls a week, you're doing 1 to 2 group calls. And then creating your transformation, your learning dashboard in a way that still gives them the accountability they need, but makes them self-accountable and also gives them everything that they need. So they're not walking around like a headless chook, not taking action. And also they still have somewhere they can ask questions and get support. So that's where you create a community, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the big thing coaches struggle with making that transition is they go, well, if I don't do one-on-one coaching, I'm not going to get my clients results and they're not going to pay me a high ticket price because I'm not working with them as intimately. That's not true. The only thing the client pays for is the results. They don't care if it's one-on-one group coaching. As long as it's guaranteed they're going to go from A to B, they're happy. So to answer your question, Doug, the first transition a coach needs to make or a consultant is to go from done for you to more one-on-one. Then once you're successful one-on-one as a consultant or coach, you then need to evolve to more of a leveraged model through what I explained there. Then your job really is to make sure you keep sales and marketing and client delivery on point. So you've then got to hire where the pain is at that point. Where's the pain? Are you still, missing some client retention? A client's not getting the promised result. Well, if you hired an accountability coach or a performance coach, would that assist and help your clients get better results? So you could hire there. That's the first hire I made. I hired a success coach for our clients, and he's been with us for a year now. That's the first hire I made, but maybe you don't need to do that because your program doesn't require as much intimacy of support. So where's the next pain? Is it helping you with content and helping you, edit your videos and take snippets from your group coaching sessions and put them online so you've got content? Is it that you're getting bogged down in appointment setting and need to hire a setter? Is it that you need a closer? Like you got to hire based off where that pain is. But to answer your question with the system as well, like I'm a big believer that every coach or consultant that can get to 20K a month organically, consistently, without spending a cent on ads. I grew my business to $121,000 cash collected in the month of October last year, and we didn't run any ads. So I believe once you got the stability, you have a strong proof of concept matched with getting your clients incredible results and a strong foundation of organic strategies, then you turn on that paid ads tap and you run a VSL funnel or, something like that.
Nice. One thing that I really picked up on there, like the argument that I would often hear like coaches say about going to a course model is that you lose the accountability and people don't follow through because they don't have the accountability. I like what you said about including something in your course that works for that accountability feature. So
totally. And depending on what your transformation is too, you might still give, instead of doing a one-on-one coaching session every week for 3 months or 6 months, depending on what your transformation is, you might give them 3 to 4 one-on-one calls with your success coach, with your accountability coach that you hire. Like there's so many options. People still want that one-on-one intimacy, but you can do it in a leveraged way that doesn't require you to be on back-to-back calls.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for that nugget. Let's talk a little bit more about what you do. How do you help coaches specifically grow a profitable business?
Yeah, so basically, I call these the 5 pillars of certainty. Step 1 is you need to know who your super niche is. You need to know who is your dream client. How do you have proximity and association with them, and how do you have past experience with them and a genuine interest and passion to serve them? How is your story from your past? How is that relatable to these people? Because you have to have that natural affinity, that know, like, trust with someone. It's like me, if I have an agency and I try and sign up surf companies in the e-com space, if I go and offer them my services, I'm going to hear crickets because I don't know how to speak their language or anything. Like they're going to be like, who's this outsider? Whereas if one of my business partners, Huey, he goes and talks to them, he'll get them to sign up instantly because he's a surfer. He can speak their language. So you've got to be able to speak their language. So once you know your super niche, it's all about going and doing market research on your dream client and finding out what their pains, problems, dreams, desires are and challenges are and what they want to learn to get to their desired outcome. Because far too many coaches build an offer based off what they think will work. Let's say it's because you, let's say you're a weight loss coach and you lost 20 kilos 5 years ago. Well, your journey is going to be different to what they're experiencing right now because the market shifts. We've already seen a massive shift in the market for coaches in the last year. It's way more competitive. You've got to be much more switched on. So you've got to go and do the market research on your dream client and find out what they want in a transformation. And when you go and survey 30 to 50 people and you find out your dream client, exactly what they want and what they're struggling with, you can take that data. And then the second pillar of certainty is building out your $1 million offer with that data. And when you build out an offer that is leveraged, isn't bound to one-on-one coaching where you're trading time for money and you're earning an hourly rate, you really set yourself up for success in the ability to then go and scale and keep growing. So then once you build a leveraged offer, the third pillar is all about your organic growth flywheel, I call it. Setting up your organic content systems and strategy to make sure that you attract your dream client with your marketing efforts, be it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Then the fourth pillar is all about your conversation conversion. It's being able to have a conversation with someone in the DMs, a stranger, and build affinity to them, that know, like, trust, that rapport, and then book a call with them and then convert them via a sales call. So that's all in that pillar. And the last pillar is all about systems and processes and making sure you provide a world-class experience for your clients and setting up back-end systems and processes so that you can go and scale your business and actually get your clients results and, put in a flywheel of referrals and all that good stuff. I also talk about a sixth pillar of certainty as well, which is your internal world. You got to get yourself into peak state every day. You got to make sure that your cup is full and your energy is abundant and you're in a good position internally so you can actually grow your business and show up on the day-to-day as your best self.
Yeah, those are some awesome pillars. Sounds like you have a really good system built out. And I'm sure your clients, you wouldn't be as successful as you are if your clients weren't having massive success. So
it's been a lot of trial and error to get to this point, but we have it very dialed in now.
Nice. So how can our listeners contact you and reach out to you if they want to know more about how you can help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Dimitri Ross, or you can head to sevenfigurelifestyle.com. We've got heaps of resources over there. The best place to contact me is at Facebook at The Real Dimitri Ross. And then as well, if you want to flick me an email, if that's your preferred channel, you can reach out to me at Dimitri, Dimitri at 7figurelifestyle.com.
Nice. And we'll put a lot of those links down below.
Perfect.
Dimitri, it has been a pleasure, man. You have to go. The journey that you went on is just astounding to me. And the kind of whole lifestyle switch to become who you are now. It's just amazing. I applaud you.
Thank you. And I hope you and your listeners have got a heap of value from this.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Have a great day.
You too.